Hi, and welcome to Untethered with Jenless, the podcast that's here to help you break free, be you, and unleash your inner brilliance. So someday when you are 90 years old, you look back and you say, dang, that was a brilliant life. That's what we're here for. And in today's episode, we are going to talk about the 3 lessons you really need this Christmas. Let's go. Hey there, unicorn. It's Jen. Welcome back to the podcast for this
Thursday thread. It's the Thursday thread.
Thank you to the one and only Katie Smith McIntyre, Unicorn Supreme, for singing that beautiful Thursday thread jingle for us, which leads us right into today's episode that was kind of inspired, actually, by Katie's festive jingle. So here's the deal, y'all. It is the holiday season, a whoop-de-doop, a dickory-dock. Don't forget to hang up your sock. Isn't that the best song? It sounds much better sang by Harry Connick Jr., but it's so fun to sing. It's such a delightful song. What is he even talking about? Well, that's what we're going to talk about in today's episode. The holidays bring up so much all the time, constantly, and we can be toggling back and forth between joy and frustration when we're trying to find a parking space. That happened to me just this past week. I'm just so excited to go to this event. I actually got to meet one of my clients in person for the very first time. And I was so joyful. And I was looking at all of these festive holiday shoppers who were coming to this event that I was at too, but they had taken up all the parking spaces. And so I'm like trying to be joyful, but also like, oh my gosh, there was no parking. And we're constantly going back and forth between that. And then there's grief for some of us. There's so much, I'm away from home at Christmas. We are actually going back to Wichita this week, and I'm so grateful for that. And at the same time, I'm not there at the holidays in the way that I used to be because I've made this choice to come to Oregon, and I'm solid in that choice. And it's also hard. And so there's a lot of this and that we're all experiencing during the holidays. So I'm sending you so much love and a reminder that your breath is one of the most empowering tools that you have in your toolbox during the season. Always and forever, your breath that is here with you from the moment that you were born until your very last breath. It is one of your greatest tools that is here to help you shift your nervous system, to shift yourself out of that anxiety and stress and back into the fun and the joy that is intended during the season, and the gratitude and the peace and the love, all of those things. It is just as possible for you as the stress is. It doesn't always feel that way. And it can be very challenging. So offering yourself beautiful compassion, offering yourself that breath, taking nice, deep inhales, filling up your belly, exhaling, gifting yourself the opportunity to shift your energy when you can. I'm back to our friend Harry Connick Jr. and our friend Tracy Litt, who was on the episode on Tuesday. This is a Thursday thread pulling a little piece or two out of Tracy's episode. Whether you listen to Tracy's episode or not, a lot of what she shared, the root and the soul and the heart of her message is you are whole. Operate from that place of wholeness, not from the not enoughness that plagues so many of us. And we talk so much about it in the self-development world. And she is here and on a mission to really help and support people with that. And I think it's such a powerful mission. I came across her on the internet through a friend a few months ago. And when she had said something, I mentioned this in the episode about not saying woo woo anymore. And I was like, antenna up, wait a second, tell me what you mean. And she agreed to come on the podcast to come talk about it. So if you're interested in that episode, we spend a lot of time talking about spirituality, but her whole message is really, you're enough, just accept it. And at the same time, she has an entire school. She also coaches on this, and she recognizes that that is something that people have a lot of trouble with. And so it's what she supports people with. It's also so much of what I support people with. And so many other coaches are out there and offering the support for this because it's something that so many people struggle with. And at the same time, it's a whoop-de frickin' dupe. It is time to stop playing the not enough game. You are indeed whole. You are brilliant. You are a piece of magical stardust. You are part of this oneness, this unique creation that we are all a piece and a part of. You are like your own special little part of that. You are so perfect. There could be nothing more perfect than exactly what you are. And I need to hear this message just as much as anybody else. And at the same time, we just have to say to ourselves, whenever we catch ourselves in that feeling like we're not enough, trying to get the approval of others, whether that is your parents, other family members, people from high school, whether it's your coworkers, whether it is somebody who you look up to, somebody that you're putting up on a pedestal, whatever that is that you were feeling like we need to earn it, a whoop-de frickin' dupe. Thank you, Harry. Whoop-de-doop. It is time for us to stop. Truly. Which takes us to a dickory dock. Dickory dock, the mouse went up the clock. It is time to deal with that. It's time. The world needs women to step up. More women. And not even just women, but the people who haven't been really fully stepping into our wholeness, those of us who have stayed small, who have been held small, who have not, for generations, we have not been the kind of people to step into our full authenticity, our full essence, our full power, our full brilliance. It is time. It is time. And that is going to take effort from us because no one else in our generation, nobody else in our families, in our circle may be doing it. You're the one to do it. If you're listening to this podcast, you're one of the people who is here to do this, and it is time. So I don't care whether it is breathwork, hypnosis, meditation, coaching, ice baths, reading. What do you got to do? What do you got to do to reach inside and say, hello, piece of you who says that I am not enough? Hello, piece of you who is constantly seeking the approval of authority figures, who is looking for something outside of myself, who is people pleasing. Hello, hello, I see you. I see you. Thank you. Thank you for being there. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for showing me what is not here for me. Meet it with compassion. Meet it without judgment. Meet it with curiosity. It is time to rewire those beliefs that are keeping you from seeing and feeling and experiencing your true, authentic self, your wholeness, your amazingness, your brilliance, your magic, all of those things. We've got to start connecting with that essence more. So what helps you connect with that essence? Maybe it's getting out in nature. Maybe it's dancing. Maybe it's singing. Maybe it's cooking. What are those things that help you truly connect to your greatest joy, to your love, to your laughter, to your fun, to your play, to your silliness? That's your essence. When we feel those things, that is the essence. And we spend so much time in the opposite. We spend so much time in the fear. And then we're trying to figure it out over there. We're looking in the fear and we're trying to figure it out when it's like, hey, yo, in the light, in the fun, in the magic, in the joy, that's where the clarity is. So spend more time over there. And what's going to help you spend more time there? For me, 1000%, I've tried a lot of these things and I do a lot of these things. I meditate, I coach with people, I have done hypnosis, I do breath work. I'm game to try all kinds of things. In fact, that's one of my fun things. I'm welcoming so much more fun. We're going to get to that in a second in 2024. What is fun for you? What works for you? What helps you deeply connect to that magic so that you can feel that wholeness more and more and more so you can memorize it, so you can start to create new grooves in your brain that you are traversing down more regularly. Because right now you're just in a groove. We're in a groove. We have these beliefs in our brain that feel really comfy, feel so comfy for us to fall into those nice, like little grooves. What is toboggan? You're like in a toboggan and you're going down the slide. We can make new grooves. It's just going to take a little bit of effort until we can get those grooves made. And it's fun. It's fun effort for goodness sakes. We're just so fun. We're so used to efforting being hard and not being fun, which takes us to don't forget to hang up your sock. Allowing ease and trust and flow and abundance is the name of the mo-fuggin game in 2024. Hang up your sock. We are allowing all of the goodness in. We're allowing all of the goodness in. We are opening up that sock and we're saying, Santa, bring it all. This stocking is bottomless. Bring it all. Put it all inside. It is time for us to fuck around and get paid. Fuck around and get paid. That is my mantra for 2024. I have a word of the year that I'm toying with and playing with, and I'll have my word of the year party. By the way, little heads up, I always have a word of the year party at the beginning of the year. So keep that in your little radar. I'll be coming out soon with the date of what that's going to be. Fuck around and get paid. Let's have more fun and let's welcome more abundance. We're hanging up the stocking and we're saying, I want so much more freaking fun, silliness, goofiness, play, adventure. That's what we're welcoming in 2024 unicorns. That is what the world needs. Does the world need any more misery, any more suffering? And I fully recognize that there is so much suffering in the human existence. There's so much right now that is right in front of our eyes, and it's freaking terrible. And there's always been so much human suffering. And Eckhart Tolle says humans are sick. Like the mind is sick. The ego is sick. And when we can look away from that, we are just like leaning into the sickness or down with the sickness. We are down in sickness, but we can turn into the light. So more and more of us turning into the light, opening up to fun. That's the way. That is the path. Like how much fun are people in the world having around us? Just, it doesn't even feel safe to have fun. That's freaking wild. That is what I'm here for. If you're here for it too, then get ready. 2024, we are going to have so much adventure. We're going to have so much fun. We're going to try so many things and it's going to be amazing. So if you would like to join me in this, it's time to fuck around and get paid. Don't forget to hang up your sock this year and ask for it from Santa, because that is what we're calling in. So whoop-de-doop, stop playing the I'm not enough game. A dickory dock. It is time. It is time to deal with those things. Whatever you got to do. What do you got to do? Maybe open up to that question. I don't mean this to feel pressury. Like open up to that question. What am I curious about that could potentially support me in moving through this? This podcast is, of course, perhaps a resource for you. What other resources could support and could help you? Is it having a hard conversation with someone? Is it telling someone else in your life about this not enoughness that you are experiencing? Is it starting to open up and have vulnerable conversations? Is it connecting with other people in your life in a more loving, heart open way? What is it going to be for you that's going to help you to move past this? Who can support you? Maybe make a list of who are the people who can support me. There's people right here in your life who would love to. We are just so closed off in our hearts. We don't want to open it up. It feels so scary. But if you have that niggle, other people around you also want to open it up. They're just so scared. And when you start to open up, everybody else starts to open up, and it's just magical. I often tell people this when I'm coaching them. If you look around and you're thinking, I wish somebody would do this, you're the leader. You're the leader because you're the one who sees. You get the opportunity to lead in that area. If you're seeing, I just really wish that at the Christmas dinner, we would all go around and share our gratitudes, but that feels really scary. That's never happened before. Nobody else is doing it. You're the leader. Say, you know what, guys, it would feel so good to go around and say something that each of us is grateful for as we open our gifts. You'll come up with a creative idea that could be fun and pose it. The worst that can happen is that they're like, no, I don't really want to do that. And you're like, okay. But we make this out to be like it's going to be like life or death. It's so goofy how our brains, and that's just simply the fear. It's just clouding us. It's making it unclear and scary. Lean into the light. How could you make it fun? It's always how could you make it fun? That's hanging up the sock. The sock is bottomless. Remember that. There is so much abundance that is here for you. A resource that I would love to share, I just shared it in my newsletter today, is the 21 Days of Abundance from Deepak Chopra. If you want a regular meditation series, it's very easy to listen to. He really breaks down abundance. I've listened to it over and over and over. My husband has listened to it with me. I've listened to it with clients. It's a really, really good, even if you've never meditated before, or if you've meditated a lot, either way, he meets a really beautiful, happy medium. So if you're wanting to open up to abundance, it's a really great resource that I would suggest that you try. Another thing, you can come and join me in Brilliant Breathwork. I do lots of abundance mindset work in there. I have lots in the Brilliant Vault on abundance, opening up to receiving, doing things with more fun and ease. Those kinds of breathwork sessions can be incredibly supportive for you as well. So a whoop-de-doop, a dickory-dock. Don't forget to hang up your sock. These are 3 things that you need this Christmas, and come and do these with me. I'm so ready for 2024 and for all of us to step into it together. Now, as always, on our Thursday Thread episodes, I would like to offer you a few minutes of breath. So if you would like to join me in releasing any little bits of holiday stress that might be falling onto your shoulders at this moment, invitation to allow yourself the time to breathe along with me. So taking a deep inhale into your nose and out through the mouth. If you are driving, please come back and listen to this later, or simply listen while keeping your attention firmly around your surroundings. So taking a nice deep inhale into your nose, out through the mouth, into the nose. And on your next exhale, closing down your eyes. Beginning to pulse your breath, 2 inhales into the nose, 2 exhales out through the nose. There you go. Continuing with that pulse breath. Beautiful. As you continue to breathe with that pulse breath, maybe noticing any sensations that are arising in your body at this time. Maybe noticing if there is any tension between the eyes and the jaw, in the shoulders. Without judgment, just noticing. Are your hips clenched? Maybe the thighs are pressing together. Those little muscles around your knees, where are they at? Continuing to breathe with that pulse breath. Just noticing. Beautiful. Now taking a big, deep inhale into the nose. Big, expansive breath, expanding the belly. Holding. And on your exhale, letting out a big sigh. Another big inhale. Holding at the top. And on this sigh, allowing all of your muscles to release and to relax. Taking one last big, expansive inhale. If any of those muscles want to relax and to let go on your exhale, allowing them to do so. Returning back to your natural breath. Maybe placing one hand on your heart. There you go. Just reminding yourself that it's okay if you get stressed. It's okay if your body reacts to the flurry of the holiday busyness. And simultaneously reminding yourself that it's also okay to relax. It's also okay to let go. And it's also okay to feel joy and peace. Breathing in one more time, big inhale into the nose. Exhaling completely. Bringing a smile to your face. As you flutter your eyes open, hand on heart, thank yourself for taking a few moments to notice where your energy is at, to invite that energy to shift, to offer yourself a moment of compassion and grace, and to invite yourself to experience joy when that feels good to you. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. It means the world to me that you would listen to this podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, I encourage you to share it with a friend who might need to hear it. Do you know anybody who would benefit from this message about not enoughness, who could benefit from the call that now is the time to open ourselves up to fun and abundance? Share it with them. Take a little screenshot of this episode. You can share it with all your friends on social media. If you tag me, I'm Untethered Jen on Instagram. I will always reshare your posts. Thank you once again. You just keep shining your magical unicorn light out there for all to see. See you next time.